You may not think it, but they are comparable, these two cameras, the Nikon D7100 and the D600. One's DX, one's FX. We do take our comparisons seriously, and we also take comments seriously, just like this one. We demand a neutral view of only the dry facts, but is also clever and entertaining. He must be talking for everybody, as he says we. I'm not going to mention his name, because I'll give him the fame, but we do take that seriously, so that's why we're going to do this video in a clever and entertaining way, but with the dry facts. Well, the D600 costs a little bit more than a D7100. So the question is, should you just buy the D7100 or pay a little bit more and go for the D600? They might be divided by a big, kind of biggish price gap, but underneath it all, they've got very much the same skin and bone structure. Change your plan. Let's take it easy on the boring facts. Oh, person on the trolley. Lady on the trolley.
We changed our mind. We took our time on this and contemplated about it and decided that laying up the simple hard cold facts is boring. So we shot this over a couple of weeks, you know, just to get a balanced set of opinions.
I mean, if you don't want contrasting opinions, why don't you just watch a Nikon ad?
The basic body features are similar: magnesium alloy top and rear segments, filled in with bits of plastic crap in between, 3.2-inch screen, 100% accuracy viewfinders, 2 SD card slots, same battery, weather sealing matching that of the Pro line of Nikon DSLRs, so they say.
Let's face it, these two bodies are practically the same, except one is crop sensor, the D7100s, and one is full frame, the D600. In reality, there are only really two key things that decides which one should you buy. Did you know that the D600's autofocusing system is the same as the one in the D7000? Oh, the ironic thing is the D7100 has got a better focusing system than the D600 now. But the fact that the D600 has less autofocusing points isn't the real crying shame here, because you can still console yourself in the fact that this has more focus points than the equivalent Canon, the 6D, which has a pitiful amount of autofocus points. No, the real crying shame is the fact that all the focus points jam-packed together tightly. Packed together tightly like a bunch of arse grapes packed into a sausage skin.
Look through the viewfinder of D7100 and you'll appreciate the spread. It has a wide spread that is only matched by a sumo wrestler that has been run over by a steamroller.
See, there's almost no point having so many focus points when they're all put in a small, tiny little area, because it has the same focusing system as the D7000. It's made for crop sensors.
Geek talk. The D7100 AF is sensitive down to -2 EV versus -1 EV of the D600. Both will do the biz with lenses with a maximum combined aperture of f8.
If you want something to differentiate the two in terms of autofocusing system, don't look at the amount of points and don't look at how sensitive they are, because if you're a bird watcher then you know what camera you want anyway. In terms of the speed, they're pretty much the same. You know, don't think that because it's got the old focusing system of the D7000, it's not a bad focusing system.
The second key thing to consider, well, isn't it obvious? One of them is full frame.
Because it is effectively like a 75mm with a 1.5 times crop. I'm pushed back. Things are a lot tighter in terms of the comp. 50mm is too tight. It's only too tight if you're tight arse. If you've got a crop sensor camera and you want a 50mm equivalent, get a 35. In fact, your arse must be totally sealed up if you can't afford a 35 f1.8 from Nikon.
If you can't afford to get an approximate 50mm equivalent, then you might as well give up this hobby and take up looking at the solar system through a toilet roll. Then you can see how small Uranus is.
See, if you know you want a full frame sensor, You know the reason why, because it's the equivalent, the digital equivalent of the 35mm film standard. But to continuously compare, oh, shall I get DX or FX, which one's better, which format is right for me, then just go and get full frame, because even if you buy the DX, you're going to be thinking about this down the line. Get it over. But does full frame give you a full advantage, or is it just full of shit?
Full frame doesn't even give you the sharpest possible images here. Both have 24 megapixels, but the D7100 has a smaller pixel size and no AA filter. Looking at the two images, the D7100 has a slightly sharper image than the D600. In terms of noise, you start to see the benefit of full frame between ISO 3200 and 6400, where the FX sensor gives you lower noise images. It becomes more pronounced as you take the ISO up to stupid levels.
Oh, Mark's there! Hello, Mark! Hello! Oh, what a coincidence! I will come up then. Oh, he's...
Fantastic.
That's, yes. I've got a question for you, Mark.
What?
What do you think of these two cameras?
I want a D800.
Okay, so there you go. Don't buy these two crap cameras. We've just literally crashed in a Mark Chong casting session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like small cameras.
That's not a small camera.
I need a vertical grip.
No, okay. That's it then. Don't buy this. Buy the D800 or the D4.
Buy the D800 or the D4.
Yeah, there you go.
Off.
Yeah. See ya. And there are the little things like the D600 has a slower maximum fastest shutter speed. The D7100 goes up to 8,000 a second. This is only 4,000 a second. And the burst mode, which is better on the D7100, you get 7 FPS on the crop mode or 6 FPS. This you only get 5.5 FPS. But really the decision is not based on which camera is the best or even which camera is right for you.
The question of whether you should pay a bit more for the D600 over the D7100 depends on whether you are willing to lose a little bit in performance for a little bit of gain. It isn't poorly spec'd, it's just that the D7100 is pretty well spec'd. The D7100 goes to show that you don't need full frame per se. But as I said before, if you're always thinking about the move to full frame, well, now's a good time to do it.